Hello students, myself Harpreet Kaur. I welcome you all to my channel Nursing Path Seekers. I'm going to teach you obstetrics and gynecological nursing. So let's start. Our today's topic of discussion is decidua. So let's begin. What is decidua? It is the endometrium of the pregnant uterus. Right? What is decidua? It is called the endometrium of pregnant uterus because due to pregnancy, there are certain changes that are going to occur inside endometrium and it will be named as decidua, right? And the process of formation of decidua is called decidualization, right? It can also be defined as the process in which the mucosal lining that is the endometrial lining of uterus gets modified due to the occurrence of pregnancy. Right, the process in which the mucosal lining, also called the endometrial lining of the uterus, will undergo certain changes or modifications that will happen in response to pregnancy, right? And there is one more important term called decidual reaction, right? It is the increased structural and secretory activities of the endometrium that occurs under the influence of the hormone called progesterone. Right? The decidual reaction is increased structural as well as secretory activity, means the structure is now increasing and the secretory activity is now going to increase under the influence of the hormone called progesterone. These both decidualization and decidual reaction will occur under the influence of progesterone, right? So decidua remains throughout the pregnancy and sheds off at the time of parturition, right? The decidua remains throughout the pregnancy but sheds off at the time of parturition. Parturition means delivery, at the time of childbirth or delivery, right? Due to its shedding off property, it is named as decidua, right? The meaning of decidua is falling away or shedding away, right? Due to this property, it is named as decidua, right? Now, the changes takes place inside the all components of decidua, but it is mostly marked at the site of implantation, as well as around the maternal blood vessels. Right? Changes occurs in all components of the endometrium, but it is mostly been observed at the site of implantation, right, and around the maternal blood vessels. Implantation, I have discussed this whole process in my last video, right? So next is what? Now we are going to proceed further with the decidual layers. Before that, I'll just give you a quick review about the uterine layers. Right, this one, the outermost layer, is called perimetrium. This middle layer is called myometrium, and this innermost layer is called endometrium. Right, now when we zoom out this layer, right, we see a structure like this. Right, now this is the decidua. Right, now we are going to study about a fully developed decidua. Now a fully developed decidua is comprised of 3 layers. Right, the first one is the outer layer, that is called stratum compactum. Right, this is also called superficial compact layer and compact outer layer. Right, we are talking about this layer. This is called stratum compactum. It is also named as superficial compact layer or compact outer layer. Now what does this layer consist? Dilated capillaries and compact mass of deciduous cells and gland ducts. Right, so this superficial layer is called stratum compactum. It is the outermost layer of the decidua, right, and it consists dilated capillaries, deciduous cells and gland ducts. Right, now talking about the middle layer, it is called stratum spongiosum. Right, this middle layer is called stratum spongiosum and it is also called intermediate spongy layer and also called cavernous layer. Right, so this middle one is the stratum spongiosum layer. Right, and what does it consist? Decidual cells, dilated uterine glands and blood vessels. Right, and this layer it is called stratum basilis. It is nearest to the myometrium and forms the basal portion of glands, and it is at the opposite side of the uterine muscle. Right? So these are the three layers of a fully developed decidua. The first one, the outermost layer, is called the stratum compactum. The middle layer is called stratum spongiosum, and the innermost layer, that is called stratum basilis. Right? Now, as soon as the interstitial implantation take place, what is interstitial implantation? It is the state of implantation in which the blastocyst is deeply buried inside the endometrium, right? So, after interstitial implantation, there will be certain modifications that will occur inside these layers, right? So, let's have a look what is going to happen. Right? This was stratum compactum. This was stratum spongiosum, and this layer was stratum basilis. Right? Now the blastocyst has arrived. Right? The portion that is stratum basilis now comes in contact with the base of the blastocyst. This is the base of blastocyst, right? This layer will be called decidua basilis or serotina. Right? This layer that comes in contact with the base of the blastocyst will be called decidua basilis or serotina. Right? Now the second layer, that is stratum spongiosum, what will it start doing? It will start encapsulating or will start growing over the blastocyst, or we can say growing embryo. Right? This layer, that is stratum spongiosum, will be known as decidua capsularis or reflexa. Right? As we have studied previously in the decidual reaction, that there will be a marked increase in the structural as well as the secretory activity of the endometrium. So, increase in the structural activity means the size will start increasing. Right? So, here it will form a capsule around the blastocyst. So, it is named as decidua capsularis and reflexa. Right? And the last layer, that is stratum compactum. It is the superficial layer. It will remain as it is and it will line the entire uterine cavity, right? And it will be named as decidua parietalis or vera, right? The superficial layer, that is called stratum compactum, will remain as it is and it will start lining the entire uterine cavity. It will be named as vera. I'll show you the entire process here. This is the blastocyst, and the part that comes in contact with the basal portion is called decidua basilis, right? And the second layer, stratum spongiosum, it will start encapsulating the blastocyst or the embryo, right? This is decidua capsularis or reflexa. And the superficial layer, this one, that will line the entire uterine cavity, decidua parietalis or vera. that lines the entire uterine cavity and remains a superficial part of the decidua, right? So there is one more thing, the space between decidua vera and decidua reflexa. This is vera, this is capsularis, and the space between the capsularis and vera is called the decidual space, right? And it disappears at 4th month as the pregnancy proceeds, because the capsularis and vera get fused together, right? There is a fusion of vera and capsularis layer, so this decidual space will get disappeared, right? So this was all about decidua. Thank you so much.